The surge is over. The Las Vegas real estate update that you need to go forward with your life, whether you're thinking about selling or buying in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is what you need to know. I have it for you. I'm also going to go over new builds begging you to buy. The builders are begging you to buy, and I'm going to have some information on that. Price decreases. Of course, I'm going to go over the inventory because that's the surge I'm talking about. And what's happening with Californians? Are they coming to Las Vegas still? We'll go over that and more. So I'm Rob Howe, Rockstar Realtor on YouTube. So now you know how to buy or sell a home in Las Vegas, Nevada. Anytime you're looking, I'm right here for you. So contact me when you're ready. Let's dive into some numbers. This is what I think I'd want to know if I was you. I mean, look, I'm in the business, right? So I have access to this information constantly. I'm always keeping track of it. But if I was somebody maybe coming to town, or if I was somebody thinking about selling in town, I might not have all this information. So this is what I'd be looking for if I was you. Now, why am I saying the surge is over? Because it is. We have been seeing surging inventory all of 2025. That has been the big change. It's always about inventory being the story, right? So we've seen surging inventory. If you've watched my previous videos, I always go back to 2017 as being a marker down for the high point that we had in inventory. And that was a little over 11,100. And we finally beat that number. In October, we went to 11,200, a little over 11,200 total on market. We're seeing this surging inventory, but here it is in November, and we've seen a 300 property decrease. We are now at 10,900, just a little above that, and it's been staying there for the last several days and going down. So if I'm a buyer, my opportunity might be actually dwindling. We're going to see if a lot of these sellers that are pulling their homes off the market will come back on market in the springtime or next year. That may happen, and we'll have to see how many buyers are there to take up that inventory, and if the inventory piles up again like it did this year. Although this year we did have a good start to the year, as it went into spring, it was kind of a rarity because we weren't pulling off as much as we were putting on, and that's how we got here. Also, I've been seeing the new listings coming on. The 7-day average of how many listings are coming on has been below 900, and it's been staying there. So we were trending around 1,100 coming on at least in the 7-day average, and we went as high as nearly 1,400 during this year. But prior to November, that's what was happening. And now in the last several days, we continue to see less inventory coming on. Sellers, they just don't like selling this time of year. And that's because life, you got holidays, you got all kinds of stuff. And they also just kind of don't believe that it's going to be their best opportunity to find the most buyers. Buyers have remained about steady. The amount of properties going under contract and the amount of properties actually closing has been about the same, maybe a little lower, but probably lower because of the time of year. This is a trend that would also be true, that buyers aren't out in force as much as they will be during the spring. So a lot of these sellers pulling off now, they're going to count on the spring time to put their property on the market. Rate changes, that's what's spurred on. I think that's what's kept these buyers interested right now. And if they're smart, they're seeing that they can get a deal. I mean, new builds are basically begging you. They're begging you to buy a home right now. And I'm going to just tell you, because I get emails all the time, and of course I go to these builders with my clients, and I'll pull up something from an email or two that I've gotten recently. Okay, so this builder has exclusive early deals, Black Friday, top new homes selling fast, right? That's what they're saying. In the past years, they just haven't been trying to do that sales job on you. Not this way. And it's certainly the time of year that you can get the best deals in new builds, because that's when they're looking to close out their year end and, have a nice number, have some sales, right? But in this one, they're saying take advantage of a promotional FHA 5-to-1 ARM rate. So that 5-to-1 means that in year 6, you're going to get the rate that's on the index, meaning that your rate can change and probably will go up unless rates are much lower at that time. So a lot of times why they're offering these types of things, 7-to-1, 5-to-1, is because most people don't stay in their homes that long, or certainly have an opportunity to refinance within those number of years. By the numbers, people don't stay in their homes longer than 5 to 7 years, and so that's why they do these. And as long as you're very well aware that you're getting into one of these types of loans, then you should be fine and you should take advantage of it. And you can get something similar on the resale market. We got to ask the seller to pay some costs for you to make that happen, but it can happen. The builders, though, are not just only doing these types of deals. It's been a while since I've seen this from a builder, but they are actually touting the Smart Buy down payment assistance program. Put as little as 0% down, and after 3 years of, as long as you pay your mortgage on time, after 3 years, that down payment assistance drops off and you don't owe it anymore. So basically 3 years, they have a lien on the property saying that if you sell it, you got to pay back the down payment assistance that they gave you. It's interesting because a lot of builders just didn't want to deal with these programs so much, but now they are. It tells you that they are opening up and trying to do as much as they can to incentivize some sales. And this will be dependent on, the area that you're buying in. It's not going to be every builder's site is going to be saying, hey, that we have this deal. But many of them do, especially if you walk in and they have some standing inventory. You can go in, get thousands off the price in some cases. You can get a lot of closing costs. You can really angle this to your benefit. So if you're coming here and you're coming in and you're looking to buy and it's something you need to do anyway, well, and you love a new build, let's get together. Make sure you bring your realtor on the first time. Otherwise, you cannot be represented. And let me just tell you, I know people think, I'm going to pay for my realtor one way or another. Listen, if you're dealing with just the builder, whoever's there representing you and the builder has a first priority to the builder. They are hired by that builder, okay? You need representation of your own. And I always say things that are permanent, you shouldn't look for the deal on. It's very important. Find a great tattoo artist if you're going to permanently put something on your body, and make sure you have a realtor with you. You have somebody that's going to help you with all of the decision-making process when it comes to buying a new home. All of it, including inspections, everything. It's so important. I don't know what you see out there on the internet these days on social media, but I see inspectors finding all kinds of things, and it's on these new builds. So even if you don't use a realtor, make sure you get the property inspected. The builder makes it kind of difficult to do it, but it's totally something that you should do. Now, interestingly enough, I'm seeing that price decreases are actually going down as well. We're well below 1,000. We've been above 1,000 on the 7-day average pretty much all year. Sellers are constantly lowering their prices right now. So we're seeing that maybe the sellers that are on market, they're just kind of sitting put. But the ones that are moving their number, that is your home that you want to try to buy. Hopefully it's one that you love already and they're willing to make a deal. Now let's go into the median price. Now, I said on my last video, maybe the last 2 videos, that the median price was going to continue to go down. It had gone down in the prior month. Let's see, was it September? September, we went down by 10,000. It was at like 480. Our high was 485. It went to 480. And then finally, it went down by 10K to 470 in September. And it looked like the trend that would continue. But guess what, folks? The market keeps having surprises, and I'm going to get into why this surprise is happening, because there's definitely more to this story. But it went up by 0.9%, and that is 474,370. That's 0.9%, almost a percent rise. That was unexpected, certainly by me. I was calling for a lower number than that, and to continue to see decrease on the median home price. Will we see it next month? Maybe. I'm going to tell you that as we go into condos and townhomes, because there's a different story happening there. And could that be the canary in the coal mine? I'm definitely going to get into that. But the reasoning I'm seeing why that we're actually going up in the median price at a time when you have a lot less sales is because in the lower price ranges, it's like vacant. This is where people are having the hardest time. People over 500,000, people looking in that market 500,000 and above, sure, they're being more picky and sure they are looking for a better deal, but those are the people out there that can afford to buy in the higher price ranges above 500,000 and even in luxury. Luxury, you're seeing that really if somebody is looking for a property and they want to buy it, they will. And the sellers, they're not hurting too bad if they're priced right. You're getting still about the same amount of luxury sales as we've been getting for the past few years. So it's really a tale of two different worlds. In the lower price ranges, which is usually the bedrock of our market, that's where you're seeing that not a lot of people are buying. So you're not seeing these single family homes get sold in numbers down below there. So they're getting sold in numbers at a higher price. I think that moves the median. Also because we have less numbers to begin with. Less sales, easier for the median to move. And you see it, I can prove that because you see that in the luxury market where, you might have 140, 150 sales and the median will move every month. It doesn't just keep going up and it also doesn't just keep going down. It kind of fluctuates because it's smaller number and dependent on what sold. Like you might have a big number, a couple of big sales in there, and that's going to move it around. And then you have maybe some smaller numbers. Okay, I got a couple more things for you, and that is the condos and townhomes. I'm going to dive into that because I did bring up the canary in the coal mine. Is this the canary in the coal mine? Condos and townhomes. Let's talk about them. They are down on the median price by 9.5%. Why? Why are condos and townhomes going down what you would think would be the more affordable price ranges? Why would they be going down in price as far as closings, median price, while single family residence just went up by nearly 1%? Okay, it's because they can't afford what they're seeing, and these condos have to get sold at a lower price in order for them to sell. So you can find deals out there in the condo market. September, 294,000 was the number in September. October, 285. So that's a big drop. This is where I think we'll continue to see the median price drop. It will be very consistent. It has been consistent. The condos have been going down. And as I always say, they're really condos last to go up, first to go down. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. It's not that that's a terrible buy for you. As a matter of fact, you might be wanting to think about buying a condo right now because you can get a deal. I mean, some of these sellers are the sellers that I'm talking about. They want to sell that property, and some of them want to move up. They want to get out of that condo. It's not this that they're distressed. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about distressed properties. You hear it all the time. Oh, foreclosures, they're going crazy. You see all these YouTubers talking about foreclosures and all this, and then how Las Vegas is like some of the highest foreclosure rates and all this. Folks, we're not even at 2020. Folks, we're not even at 2019 levels for foreclosures. And I'm going to show you what's going on here. So we have a new designation or a newer designation in the multiple listing service that I can look at when it comes to foreclosures, and that is foreclosure commenced. That means somebody's putting their property on the market and they have to disclose whether or not foreclosure has commenced. In other words, are they behind on this property? Have they gotten a notice that they are behind? So that means foreclosure has started. 39 of those people are on the market right now. We have 39 out of 10,900 plus properties. Okay. Is that a problem? Probably not. But it's something I'll keep an eye on. And then we have what we've always had, which is REOs, real estate owned. This means that the bank already foreclosed on the property, and now it's real estate owned by the bank. That's why they call it an REO. And right now we have 63 of those on the market. Not a lot, certainly not traditional levels or high levels by any stretch. And my 16-year career will prove that I'm right on that. I started when things were nuts. So when it comes to distressed properties. What about short sales? You got 62 short sales. It doesn't even make sense that people are trying to do short sales right now, but I guess there are certain situations that you would. But basically, it means that you owe more than the property's worth. And, these could be some people that have been more recently bought and they got into some trouble. Those would be the people that you'd be worried about if you saw big numbers of those. But the last time I did these, I think there was probably 80, so there's less than there were before. Now, an interesting one too, I think this is a newer designation as well, because I never noticed it before, but we have probate sales. I consider a probate a bit of a distressed sale. We've got basically somebody has passed away and now that property is needing to be sold through probate. Not everybody wants to get involved in a probate sale, even though sometimes they can be a deal because they can take a long time. It can be convoluted and problems along the way. And you're not really getting all the information sometimes because the seller is deceased. So probate can be a great opportunity, but you got to be careful. There are 133 probate sales. So, rest in peace. We have at least 133 people that had property and passed away. Well, actually, it could be a lot less than that because some of these might be multiple, people that own multiple properties. So you got 133 potential opportunities out there for probate. If you're interested in getting a property that might be a deal, that might be a pond you could swim in. I'm going to end with interest rates. Interest rates are set to go lower, I think. I hope. Actually, it's been kind of 50-50 out there. December meeting will come up. That's when they're going to check on those rates. But we've had 2 rate drops equaling a half point of rate on the Fed. That does help lower the mortgage rates. It is not directly tied to them, but that does help mortgage rates. And every time we see those, we see a little bit more buyer activity. It's definitely a little bit of a psychological thing. It's a signal that it's a better time to sell. And that's what we're going to be looking for as we go into next year. Will there be more rate changes? And will those rate changes spur some people to get out into the market? And then you're going to see that would be a good market for the sellers, at least better. So you have a balanced market. That's what I would look for. Is a balanced market in spring. Will we have balance? Let's find out. Time is going to tell. Keep staying with me and I will let you know. Now, more Californians moved to Las Vegas or I should say to Nevada in 2024 than they did in 2023. Shouldn't be a surprise. 2023 was kind of a tougher year in real estate. It wasn't a terrible year, but it was a tougher year, slower, not as much sales. But have they stopped coming? No, they're coming. California wants to be in Las Vegas, a lot of it, at least. A lot of people do. And those numbers will continue to come over. We'll see what 2025 has to say. I still think probably 2024 will have had more than 2025 just because of the conditions. And those conditions affect California too. They can't sell their home, then they can't come and buy a home here. That's usually the case, unless they have the money to go ahead and purchase here and just wait till they can sell there. So I hope this information helps you when you are ready to sell or buy a home in Las Vegas, Nevada. Remember, I'm Rob Hau. I'm all about houses and you. So when you're ready, now you know how to buy or sell in Las Vegas, Nevada. Man, I just hope you have a great week and keep watching me. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like, share, whatever you got to do. I hope this helps you and your friends and your family understand where the market is in Las Vegas, Nevada. The surge is over. What's it mean? What's going to happen next? Stick with me. I'll let you know.